At exactly 2:17 a.m., the emergency call disconnected. No scream, no struggle, just silence. When police arrived at the house on Hawthorne Street, they found the front door unlocked, the lights still on, and a half-finished cup of coffee growing cold on the kitchen table. The woman who lived there, Emily Carter, 32 years old, was gone. There were no signs of forced entry, no witnesses, no immediate evidence of a crime. Millfield, Ohio is a town people rarely notice. Just over 11,000 residents, 1 high school, 2 gas stations, 3 churches. Nothing ever happens here, and that is exactly how people want it. Emily Carter moved to Millfield in the spring of 2019. She worked as a medical records clerk at the county hospital, lived alone, and kept to herself. Neighbors later described her as polite, quiet, and forgettable. On the night of October 14th, Emily followed her usual routine. She left work at 5:42 p.m., stopped at Miller's Grocery, and returned home just after 6. Security cameras confirmed it. At 2:14 a.m., Emily dialed 911. The call lasted 47 seconds. She told the dispatcher she thought someone was inside her house. When asked if she was alone, she said she didn't think so anymore. Before the call ended, she whispered one final sentence. "He knows my name." Police arrived 7 minutes later. Emily was gone. Detective Aaron Blake led the initial search. The house was neat, organized, untouched. Emily's purse was still on a chair. Her car was in the driveway. Her phone was missing. In the hallway closet, officers found something that didn't belong. A man's jacket, dark blue and worn, shoved behind winter scarves. Inside the collar was a stitched name, Daniel. No fingerprints, no blood, just a receipt in the pocket. A gas station on Route 17. Time-stamped at 1:02 a.m. Detectives searched for men named Daniel connected to Emily. There were none. No co-workers, no friends, no contacts. Emily's social media showed little activity. No recent photos, no personal details. One neighbor, Linda Perez, told police she had seen a man standing across the street from Emily's house late at night in the weeks before she vanished. He never knocked, never moved, just stood there in the dark. Detective Blake reviewed older missing persons cases. Emily was the 3rd woman to disappear in Millfield. Rachel Monroe, 29, missing in 2017. Hannah Lowe, 34, missing in 2018. All lived alone. All vanished at night. No signs of forced entry. In Hannah Lowe's case, a neighbor had also reported seeing a man standing outside her house. 3 days after Emily disappeared, police received a package. Inside was a USB drive and a handwritten note that read, "You already met him." The audio file on the drive was time-stamped 1 minute before Emily called 911. A man's voice spoke calmly. "Emily, you forgot to lock the door again." Audio analysts confirmed the sound of a key turning from inside the lock. Detectives realized none of the victims' homes had been broken into. The doors had been unlocked using keys. Emily's sister later found a notebook hidden beneath a nightstand drawer. It was Emily's diary. The first entry was written 6 months earlier. "I think someone is copying my schedule." Later entries became more specific. "He knows when I get home. He smiled today. I didn't tell him my name." One entry stood out. "He says his name is Daniel. I don't think that's true." Emily described their first meeting in a parking garage where a man returned her lost keys. The next day, he appeared again. Always nearby. always calm, never threatening. Detectives found similar notes in the older cases. Rachel Monroe once mentioned a stranger returning her wallet. Hannah Lowe said someone helped her find her keys. Daniel had been making copies. Emily wrote that he eventually entered her home at night. He apologized, said she had left a window unlocked. Nothing was stolen, nothing damaged. She never reported him because he told her police wouldn't believe her. Investigators identified Daniel Moore, a man with no criminal record. He worked temporary jobs that required keys and access: night security, maintenance, courier services. A gas station clerk remembered him asking about padlocks. A partial license plate led police to a storage unit rented under Daniel Moore's name. Inside were boxes labeled with women's names: Rachel, Hannah, Emily. Each box contained small personal items: receipts, hair ties, coffee sleeves. Emily's box contained her phone. On it were photos taken from inside her home while she slept. Other boxes contained cassette tapes labeled Observation, Adjustment, and Compliance. In the recordings, Daniel spoke calmly about routines, patience, and familiarity. Police delayed an arrest due to lack of violent crime. Surveillance was ordered instead. 2 nights later, Daniel stood outside the police station, staring into the security cameras. Detective Blake later found a photo on his desk taken from inside his own home while he slept. Attached was a note: "You should lock your door." Investigators identified an abandoned rehabilitation house on Old Creek Road where Daniel once worked. Inside, they found signs of recent use: clean beds, fresh water, identical jackets in a closet. There were no bodies, only recordings. Daniel documented everything, not for pleasure, but for process. Emily's recordings lasted the longest. In the final file, she said she didn't want to disappear. Daniel told her she wouldn't, that she would stay exactly where she belonged. When police returned with a full team, the house was empty. Daniel was never arrested. The disappearances were reclassified as unresolved absences. Years later, reports continued. Lost items returned. Locks mysteriously fixed. Strangers who knew names without introductions. 5 years after Emily vanished, Detective Blake received one last package. Inside was a USB drive. Emily's voice spoke one calm sentence: "I'm still here." No one knows how many there were. Daniel does not hunt in the dark. He waits in the open, helpful, familiar, patient. And if you ever lose your keys and someone returns them to you, make sure they don't already know where you live.